This is another new Black World Order TV Productions. It's like 4:44 in the morning, family, and grand rising, right? I just was out this morning. I was looking at my people, the nightlife people. You know what I'm saying? I just seen a sister, walk past, and jumping in and out of cars and shit like that. And, my first thought was, that's my sister, man. Like, that was my sister, my actual sister at one time, yo. And I had to look at her the same way, like, that's my goddamn sister out here lost, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I've been up this morning, before I came outside, because I was thinking about the Many Men instrumental, the 50 Cent joint, them beats right there, I'm going to bless that track with something real good, and it should be deep. And I wanted to take what I just experienced looking at, my sister out here lost. And I'm going to put that in them bars when I do it. You know what I'm saying? I did the 16 bar challenge, RBG challenge is on my page, right? You can go back through the archives and you can find that, you know what I'm saying? But, 50 was, on the part when 50 was like, you know what I'm saying? I used to talk to God, right? I'm gonna start one of my, little joints off like that, in between that hook, you know what I'm saying? And, I used to talk to God and he ain't say nothing back. That's why I left the church, because that shit was whack. As I poured through them scriptures and them texts, all I found was shit that was anti-black. Y'all got to realize that they pushed the timelines back to try to distract the mental capacity to get back to black excellence. What the fuck you think they was even messing with us for, feet? You feel me? It was all to change that, bro. And the same guy, like, and then you get a chance out here in the morning to get to see married men, like husbands, you know what I'm saying? Picking these women up who are our sisters, and even those brothers that are maybe husbands or boyfriends that's out here this time of morning doing that, they also are my brother that's lost, And I was thinking about, how can we reach them, because those are the segments of our community that don't nobody want to fucking talk to. Somebody actually told me that the other day. They was like, Sha, you actually talk to the group of people that nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, wants to talk to. And I thought about that because that's what I've been getting fucking tired of doing. Talking to the segment of people that nobody wants to seem to talk to. You got your preachers, you got your conscious dudes and people like that, and what they're saying is that those people only want to fuck with certain people of a certain status in life, right? And that, Sha, the dude was trying to tell me, man, you wasting your time talking to the said worst ones. As we used to say in the Nation of Islam, we used to call them the rusty locks, right? It's just not a lock that's locked. It's a lock that's locked, but the lock is rusty. How do you open such a man? I mean a lock. I mean a man. So how do you open that up? You have to have the right touch and you have to have the right keys, right? So what I try to tell them, is that in my years of talking to these so-called sad words ones, because in the nation we used to call them the despised, right? That they are despised by society, that they are rejected by society. You know what I'm saying? And those the ones that a great teacher would want to come to prove that he is who he say he is, right? If you can change the said worst ones, and over my period of talking to my people all these years, the reason why I keep talking, I told the guys, because I managed to talk at least 16 people out of murdering their brothers and sisters. So that's one of the reasons why I continue to talk to those ones that nobody seemed to want to talk to, because in essence, I feel like that I used to be that person. And and that the people that reached me was my future self, and I'm their future self. Right? And so I didn't want to lose the moment, right? So I went all these years, moment for moment, as people told me, wasting my time talking to the said worse ones, the rusty locks. And Elijah Muhammad used to say, how long would it take us to turn these locks, right? And I'm so thankful for some of the social media platforms out there that actually started vibrating this knowledge throughout the world. And it's tremendous, right? Because we got to reach the locks and we got to reach those rusty locks, right? Because the rusty locks are the aspects of society that the dominant society doesn't want people to see, because it's evident that civilization has failed its motherfucking purpose. It is evident that the civilized man has failed to perform his duty because he can't change the said worst ones. So he gets frustrated, just like a boat on a tire that he can't turn. He throws the tool down and walk away from the work site because he's frustrated. Instead of looking at the challenge and seeing how he's approaching it wrong to approach it in the right way, but then the people tell me that these people will never change, right? But I got 16 on my belt, son. I got 16 shots that didn't go off. I got 16 lives that are still here because I reached one of those rusty locks that was so rusty that they wanted to murder another rusty lock. So these rusty minds, I spend my time trying to actually reach them because, you know, I'm out this morning, you know, like doing my little walk, you know what I'm saying, looking at the neighborhood, noticing how my people, again, the lost ones that's been walking all night, they even turned into nocturnal beings. It's something you call a nighthawk, right? You know, they nocturnal beings. They just stay up all night, sleep all day, right? And the husbands are roaming through the street. The girlfriends that are on drugs that's running while their husbands at home. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, we got to reach these rusty locks. If you have the key, right? And there's many people with keys, but are they using the keys, right? There are many experimentations out there, just like if you experiment remodeling an old house or remodeling an old car and you restore it back to a magnificent glory. It's the same thing if you choose a human to do that too, right? So this is King Sha. This is one of the challenging moments, you know, that we got to face, the rusty locks, right? Who are the rusty locks and who are those to unlock those locks and restore them to their former beauty, right? These minds that are locked up in hell, death, and destruction. These minds that are locked up in conflict, confusion, chaos, right? That's what it is. It's just, you know, a sad situation that we got to work on, you know, and we can ultimately work on that, you know, because our people, the said worst ones, the despised and rejected, the ones that the builders of this new world, you know, because they want to build a new young urban professional setting to most cities across this country, and you despised and rejected ones are not a part of the plan, right? So somebody has to come, right? Somebody has to come with the ability to unlock those minds and let them know that there's a worker at hand that doesn't involve them, right? So that rejected people or that rejected stone is now become the chief cornerstone, right? This has been another New Black World Order TV Productions.